Good morning and welcome to Villanova University's M. Louise Fitzpatrick College of Nursing Fall Preview Day. My name is Andy Halstead and I proudly serve as Senior Assistant Director in the Office of Undergraduate Admission. Throughout the course of today, you will meet faculty, staff, and students who will share with you our Augustinian Catholic tradition, challenging academic offerings, robust community of student organizations, and all that Villanova has to offer. It is my sincere hope that you find today valuable as you evaluate your new college home. Did you know that Villanova actually means new home? Proudly serving as the nation's only Augustinian Catholic university, Villanova was founded in 1842 by the friars of the Order of St. Augustine as a direct response to educational injustice in the city of Philadelphia. To this day, our Augustinian tradition is the cornerstone of our community, in which students learn to think critically, act compassionately, and succeed while serving others. The strength of the Villanova experience comes from our welcoming community where all members are bonded together by the shared responsibility to uphold the Augustinian values of Veritas, Unitas, and Caritas, truth, unity, and love. The election of Pope Leo XIV, an Augustinian friar and member of the Villanova class of 1977, reminds us of the worldwide impact of our Augustinian heritage. At Villanova, you will often hear, "Become what you are not yet," a phrase we borrow from St. Augustine. Villanova's rigorous academic experience, which is rooted in the liberal arts, forms an environment in which students and professors are partners in learning. We are dedicated to providing a personalized experience that fosters each student's intellectual and spiritual well-being. We are home to a diverse group of approximately 7,000 undergraduate students studying in over 100 academic programs across our 4 academic colleges. In addition to work inside the classroom, students are encouraged to also serve those in need. Through academic and service programs, Villanova seeks to develop both the heart and the mind and creates the atmosphere where students are called to ignite change as they are moving along their journey to become what they are not yet. Today, you will have the opportunity to explore our 260-acre campus that is located just 12 miles west of the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, Philadelphia. As you walk around, you will see the construction of Vic Magidi Hall, the new home of Falvey Library, and will expand Villanova's study, learning, and community spaces while amplifying our research opportunity and capacity. And while it's not ready for visitors quite yet, we eagerly anticipate the addition of Cabrini campus that will include an impressive mix of academic, residential, recreational, dining, and athletic uses. The green, tree-filled campus will be a great addition to the student experience and is opening next fall. We hope that your experience on campus today will resonate deeply with you and leave you asking, how can I become a Wildcat? Should you wish to consider Villanova as your new home for the next 4 years, we invite you to submit an application for admission in the coming months. Villanova is a member of the Common Application as well as the Coalition Application. Neither application is preferred, as each includes biographical information, an activities list, and a writing sample. In addition to this, we require the following: your high school transcript, 1 brief Villanova writing supplement, 1 required letter of recommendation from a teacher who has taught you during your high school career. We suggest you ask a teacher who knows you well and can speak in detail to your classroom contributions as well as your interactions with your fellow classmates. In addition, if you would like, you can submit 1 optional letter of recommendation from your secondary school counselor. In fairness to all applicants, we will only consider these 2 letters of recommendation. Any additional letters will not be a factor in our application process. We have once again adopted a test optional policy for this application year. This includes all academic programs as well as the honors program and merit-based scholarship consideration. Last year, over 50% of our applicant pool chose to apply test optional. Should an applicant have scores that they wish to be considered, we will evaluate and superscore both the SAT and the ACT. For the ACT, we do not require that students submit the optional science section. Additional information surrounding our policies can be found at admission.villanova.edu. Last year, for the class of 2029, We were very fortunate to receive more than 26,300 applications for a targeted 1,770 seats. We are excited to announce that this year's incoming class will be growing by an additional 200 students. As we carefully and thoughtfully review each application, we are looking for hardworking students who are intellectually curious, open to difference, and have demonstrated kindness. Through the transcript, writing supplement, and letters of recommendation, we aim to understand who you are. What passions, gifts, and talents will you bring to ignite change in our Villanova community? As you plan to submit your application, we offer 4 rounds of admission sharing 2 deadlines, November 1st and January 15th. On November 1st, you can either apply Early Action or Early Decision 1. On January 15th, your options are Regular Decision or Early Decision 2. Early Decision includes a binding agreement and is best suited for applicants who know that Villanova is their #1 choice. This is my Villanova view, by the way, not my #2 choice. An applicant may only apply to 1 college or university through Early Decision. If admitted through Early Decision, an applicant is bound to enroll at that institution. Please note that all nursing applicants are required to have successfully completed at least 1 year or unit of both biology and chemistry during high school. Advanced levels of these courses are strongly encouraged. If you wish to apply for financial assistance, please know that we offer both need and merit-based assistance. However, the bulk of our resources are allocated to support need-based assistance in alignment with our Augustinian mission. I'm sure you've come to campus today with many questions. Members of the Office of Undergraduate Admission will be available outside of Driscoll Hall following your tour until noon today. But as for now, it's time to learn more about the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing. It is my esteemed pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Donna Havens, the Connolly Endowed Dean and Professor of the M. Louise Fitzpatrick College of Nursing. Dr. Havens?
Hello, I met some of you earlier. The rest I'd like to meet a little later on, but I want to welcome everybody to Villanova University and to the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing. So we are delighted that you are all considering entering the noble profession of nursing and that you're thinking about earning your nursing education here at Villanova in the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing. It's so wonderful to have so many aspiring nurses with us today, and I also am delighted to see so many gentlemen in the audience. I want you to know that Villanova is admitting an increasing number of men each year. Some of our gentlemen are with us today, and they'll be answering questions. And we have a chapter of Men in Nursing. It's a national chapter. They do important work helping with recruiting more men into nursing. They tutor, help with some of the downtown schools that are perhaps all male. They do a lot of work, so we're proud to see you, and thank you for considering us. A few years ago, like you, I had to make a big decision about where to go. I was looking to become a dean, and I was looking at many schools, and I'll tell you, I've been here 8 years. Villanova surfaced in my search as the place I wanted to go. What drew me might be of interest to you. Villanova is a highly regarded university that continues to spiral upward, and the College of Nursing certainly does also. The College of Nursing is considered, if you consider as an expert source, U.S. News, which we're happy if the scores are great, but it considers us one of the best in the nation. Last year, we were ranked amongst the top 30 out of more than 700 nursing programs. We just got a peek last week at what our score is for this year, but I can't tell you for 2 weeks, but we're smiling. So anyhow, the college is a global leader also. It's known for high-quality nursing education, faculty mentoring and caring that you're going to hear a lot about from my colleagues. And also it's an international leader regarding the use of simulation and technology and the most cutting-edge educational methodologies. We are an international leader in the use of simulation in nursing education. We're also using virtual reality, augmented reality, many technologies to help enhance your education so that when our nurses go into the field, they are confident, competent, and practice-ready. So, our college has been recognized by the National League of Nursing for excellence in nursing education. It was one of the first 3 in the nation to earn this honor in 2004. We're proud to have been recognized 6 consecutive times since. Also, leaders in healthcare ardently recruit our graduates. You saw some of the stats up here a few minutes ago. More than 98% of our nursing students are employed within 6 months after graduation. And they go to some of the top healthcare agencies, clinics, et cetera, in the nation, including our top employers last year were MedStar Georgetown, CHOP, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, one of the best in the world, Yale New Haven Health System, Duke, University of Pennsylvania, Cleveland Clinic, Mainline Health, right here, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, just to name a few. And not just hospitals, as I said, they go to clinics, rural communities to help where the nursing care is needed. And the average starting salary for Villanova nurses last year was $89,500. They actually surfaced as the highest average salary amongst any college at the university. So we're very, very proud, and there is a huge demand for our grads. You can tell I'm bursting with pride. Part of that is because I'm an alum. I earned my master's degree here, and I've always cherished my Villanova education and the special environment that I found here that really shaped me based on the mission and the ethos. The mentoring experience and my education have suited me very well for my career, and it will do the same for you. Another draw for me was prior to coming here, I spent 15 years at UNC Chapel Hill. I told a group from Chapel Hill that a few minutes ago. Villanova had a better basketball team at the time, which was a big part of my decision. You know, we make decisions for interesting reasons. And I really believe this year we're on our way back. So we're hoping for good things. But this could be a draw for you too. Villanova is a very active place. Our aspirations for the college will impact you. We are sparking innovation in nurses as healthcare leaders of the future. We actually have the former chief nursing officer of Microsoft, who's with us this year, to help bring us into the distant future in terms of healthcare technology, AI, and other important things that are being used and will be used even more in healthcare. Our faculty are collaborating. You're going to hear about research. Our faculty are collaborating and bringing students with them across campus, across colleges. Some of our nursing students helped to build a new type of ventilator during COVID with the engineering school. Also, we have a faculty member today who's working on preventing falls in the elderly with faculty in the engineering school, and they're using radar to detect changes in gait, to give an idea of who might fall. So we're continuing also to build our strong global health presence. Nursing offers an interdisciplinary minor in global health that you'll hear about, and our students have the opportunity to travel to at least 8 countries, including the Dominican Republic, Poland, Ghana, China, Ireland, Japan, and South Africa. And we now offer an entire semester abroad in Ireland. We have 22 students there right now in Dingle, Ireland. I will be joining them next Friday to welcome them to Ireland, to sit in on classes and help them enjoy the experience. But they will spend the entire semester taking 5 courses through Sacred Heart University in Dingle, Ireland, and all of those credits will transfer into Villanova as part of their nursing degree. We had 3 the first year. We had, I think, 20 last year. We have 22 this year. So we'll see what happens there. Research, you're going to hear a lot about it from Dr. Elizabeth Dowdell, who leads that major effort. Many of our students actually, with faculty, publish papers and present at national conferences before they graduate. So today, from us, we say welcome. I urge you all to take everything in. Everything. Ask questions, look at everything, and make an informed decision. To our visitors, as the Dean of the College of Nursing, to the student visitors, I promise you an excellent nursing education. To the families and friends who are visiting with you today, I promise that we will take outstanding care of your young people and turn them into excellent, professional, competent nurses. And young adults, outstanding young adults. So welcome to you all. Show me your V's. Okay. I'll take that as a partial commitment. And go Cats. So now it is my pleasure to introduce a colleague, Dr. Patricia, Change the script and I didn't look. Okay. Dr. Kathy Lavecchio, who's our Associate Dean for our undergraduate program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Havens. So, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the open house. So I'm not going to talk very long. I'm just going to give you some high points on what we want to say about our program that may be a little different or something that you have a question about. I'm going to turn it over later to the students who are actually going to be some of the people that you probably want to talk to a lot. So I will have them field some of those questions. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is our academic excellence. And the dean had referenced that. Our pass rate last year for NCLEX, so if you're not familiar, there is a small test that you need to take at the end of this 4-year degree, and that's the national licensure exam. And our pass rates was 96.5% last year. So we are smiling. We have preliminary results for this coming year, and they're a little bit higher right now. So we don't have much more room to go, but we would like 100%. Maybe you're the class to do it. So that's exciting news. We also have hands-on clinical experience. So the one thing I wanted to bring to your attention was during the spring of your sophomore year is when you'd start with patients in a clinical setting. That is unique to Villanova. Many of the schools don't start till junior year, so we plan on getting you into the clinical area the spring of your sophomore year. But starting freshman year, you take nursing courses. So you take a course first semester fall, second semester spring, and you take nursing throughout the entire curriculum. So I want to make sure you hear that. We take it very, we really pride ourselves on offering that right out of the chute for you. We also have a very supportive faculty. Our faculty-student ratio is 1 to 8, and we have over 65 full-time faculty and about 50 to 55 adjunct faculty who do most of the teaching in the clinical areas. We specifically select those adjunct faculty who are actively practicing in the clinical area to help us teach all of our students. Most of our faculty, actually over 90% of them, have a doctoral degree. So that's also very unique to Villanova. You're not only learning from textbooks in the classroom, but I wanted to bring to your attention the Simulation and Learning Lab. So all of you will participate in at least one rotation or one day into those labs for every single course that you have. We do still pride ourselves on the hands-on practice, so the high majority of your clinical practice will be in a hospital or community health center, but we also have that Simulation and Learning Lab to supplement. Our class sizes continue to be small as we grow. So you've heard that we're going to grow a little bit as we take on some more property, but our class sizes will continue to stay at a reasonable level. Depending on the course, you'll have 6 to 8 students in your clinical rotations. You might have up to 8 or 10 in your laboratory settings, and then in the classrooms, they can go anywhere from 18 students in a classroom up until about 50. Depending on the class. We certainly have the classroom sizes and the classroom space to do those kinds of sizes as well. I know the dean mentioned Dingle, Ireland, so that is a very unique opportunity for Villanova Nursing. Many of our nursing programs across the United States do not offer a travel abroad opportunity where nursing students can go and take nursing courses. So this is very unique to Villanova. We are also looking at some other opportunities to do a similar program in the spring of your sophomore year. So stay tuned, that's something that we're working on actively right now. Also, all of you as a first-year student will be assigned a faculty advisor. So a nursing faculty member will advise you throughout your 4 years here at Villanova. So that's something I want to make sure you understand. That is a wonderful opportunity for you to talk to that faculty member about anything, whether it's your career choices, your classes, or personal issues that you may be working through. So that is very important. All the parents in the room, I know a lot of you are here today accompanying your loved ones, and I want you to understand that your children will be in very good hands. We are small enough to know all of our students, but we are in a part of a larger university. But we will track them and we will pay attention to what's going on and work with them the whole time that they're here. So we're not expecting them just to become nurses. We want them to become responsible adults. We want them to be innovators, leaders, and a lot of other things that go along with being a nurse. So we will take care of them. So as I said before, we will have an opportunity for you to meet some of our wonderful students and talk to them. So what I'd like to do is turn it over to Dr. Bradley, and she is our Associate Dean for Inclusive Excellence. And then later on, I'll come back and we'll answer some questions. So thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Hello, everybody. Pretty excited to see you all here. I am the Associate Dean of Inclusive Excellence. And what does that mean? It means creating an environment where people feel valued and feel like they belong. When you come to Villanova, you become part of a community. I have to tell you that this has been my home for 28 years now. So I can tell you what it's been like over time and how we are still becoming what we are not yet, getting better and better every year. So you heard from the dean and you also heard from Dr. Lavecchio about some of our academics and our program. I like to always talk about our activities that bring about a sense of belonging. We have a club for everybody at Villanova. So many, it's hard to choose from, but what I can tell you, even if there isn't something that you're interested in, you could start your own. The dean talked about men in nursing. That's probably our youngest, earliest group that we have. We also have the Multicultural Student Nursing Organization. We have Nursing Without Borders. We have lots of things that you can be involved in nursing, as well as on campus in other places. What I want to say to you again, this is my home, and we hope that you make it your home. Thank you. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Elizabeth Burgess-Dowdell, my friend and colleague, who will talk to you about research.
Good morning. I have been tasked to talk with you a little bit about undergraduate research, and I'm going to briefly mention the honors program. I coordinate the undergraduate research program here at the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing and also the honors program as we are developing it and growing it here at the college. And you might say, what does research programs and honors programs? They're separate, but they have a lot of overlap. They provide enrichment, they provide opportunity, they provide mentorship, and they provide a giving back, if you will, to the profession and to the science, because nursing is a STEM. It is based on science, it develops science. And I love the pictures that were up on the screen. There were a couple of nursing students presenting at the posters from last year's Scholars Day. That starts first year. And we see that that is an opportunity for first-year students to be funded by Villanova to work with faculty on projects and scholarship. We see that in the first 2 years, and then the last 2 years, students have an opportunity to develop their own research questions, their own projects, their own ability to dive deep, not to do extra work, but to learn and ask something that they can answer that contributes to the science, to the profession, to their own learning and ability and professionalism, but also looks really good on a resume. And we see those opportunities for that mentorship and the coming together and the building of the science. The honors program, which we run through the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing, is growing. It is a wonderful opportunity, again, for students not to do more work, but to dive deeper. It's an enrichment. It's nothing like the high school honors programs, guys. It is something very different, and it's growing. Now, admissions controls who comes in, right? And then we get the honor students, and we put them, oftentimes cohort them into courses where they have opportunities to, as Mitchell was up on the screen, present their ideas of something they've done in class, in a nursing class, at a symposium where they present on research. And so here at the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing and at Villanova, we have opportunities for funding, for projects, for growing, for learning, for mentorship, for enrichment, and for contributing to an individual's growth as a professional and then to the profession itself. And on that note, I am going to turn it back to Dr. Lavecchio and the students who can answer a lot more questions and give insights. Thank you.
Okay, now's the interesting part. You get to talk to the students who are actually going here at Villanova. So I'm asking them to come up and take the seats up front. And what I'd like you to do for all the students is to introduce yourselves, tell us where you're from, and tell us if you have done anything here at Villanova that is external to nursing. So extracurricular activities. I know I have a couple students that traveled to Dingle for that semester we were talking about, so they can speak about that, or anything that you'd like to say about yourself. So I'm going to turn it over to you. So there are microphones here.
This one?
This on? Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Maeve. I'm a senior from Westchester, New York, and I'm currently in my pediatric clinical rotation at CHOP on a pulmonary unit.
Hi, my name is Callie Orzlak. I'm from Western Massachusetts, and I'm currently in my clinical rotation at Pennsylvania Hospital doing my regular med surg.
Hi guys, I'm Ben Sakota. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and I'm currently in my complex care rotation at HUP.
Hi, I'm Angela. I'm a senior here. I'm from Westchester, New York, and right now I'm in my critical care clinical at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital.
Hi everyone, my name is Chloe. I'm a senior from Fairfield, Connecticut. I'm also doing my critical care rotation at Jefferson, and I studied abroad in Dingle, Ireland, so I can answer any questions anyone has.
Hi everybody, my name is Shane Klemick. I'm a senior as well, and I'm from South Jersey. I'm currently in my pediatric clinical rotation at the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania. I'm currently on a hematology and oncology floor.
Thank you for the introduction. So now I'd like to open it up for questions. So if anyone has a question, we have some extra people here with microphones from admissions that can come around and you can ask any question. And some of you may not want to ask a question in a large group like that. We understand, and we will all be over in the College of Nursing afterwards if you have individualized questions. So does anybody have a question? Oh, great.
Is there a cadaver lab in the School of Nursing?
Yes, in our simulation labs, as soon as you go down, you'll actually probably see it today. I think we're doing tours today. We have like a giant cadaver, and I think there's 6. It's our anatomage table, and it comes with, I think, 6 different patients. And then like you can go through all the different anatomies. You can see the veins, the arteries, and it like really breaks it down. You'll see more of it later, and you can play around with it later.
Correct, thank you.
Yeah.
We actually don't have a real live cadaver lab, if that's what you were asking about. So for what you had just mentioned, we use technology instead of the actual cadavers. But it's the same thing, it's fantastic. Yes. Oh, do you want a mic?
In terms of clinicals and rotations, how many hours are afforded to the students?
So I'm a junior. The rest of everyone else is seniors, so I'm the only one with the new curriculum. But right now I'm in an 8-hour clinical, and then I think senior year I move on to 12.
So all total, we have over 600 hours of clinical. So that would be starting from sophomore year through your senior year. Yes. Oh. Who- Go ahead.
What was your incoming class size for each nursing program year?
So our incoming class size, we have 116 first-year students this year.
Hey, this is more angled towards the students, but what made you guys want to pick Villanova, specifically Villanova School of Nursing? Like, what made it better than other college programs when you were looking towards it?
I could honestly talk about this for hours, why I chose Villanova. So I had like grown up coming here because my brother went here, and literally just the sense that you feel on campus, it truly does feel like a new home. Like I've met some of like my bestest friends here. I have such a good support system, both from faculty and my friends. And since I'm from New York, it was like a good amount of distance away from home that I could still train back, go home for a weekend. But yeah, on campus, like when you're truly just walking around, like you always see a familiar face. Everyone always opens the door and holds it for you. Everyone is just super, super sweet. And yeah, you really do feel the community here.
Yeah, so kind of similar to Ange. Once and if you get into Villanova, you'll be invited to Admitted Students Day. And that actually was on my 18th birthday. So I came, never saw Villanova before, just kind of like applied on a whim. Came and saw the school, saw this like school of nursing, and kind of just fell in love with it. Everyone was very approachable, very nice, and it just kind of felt like Ange said, like a new home.
I think also for me, coming to Villanova is one of the only programs that you actually start being like in the hospital, in care sophomore year, which was really big for me because you get more time with your instructors, them watching you do skills, and that I learn better with hands-on learning, so.
So the moment I stepped on campus, it honestly felt like such a safe community. I loved everything about it, and I remember my tour with Cheryl and getting to know the labs, and I was just in awe with everything, all the mannequins, all the stuff down there. And now I love that we get to do that for you guys, because the experiences that we had looking at Villanova, I love that we get to show that to you guys, so I really hope you take it all in today.
So kind of what everyone else was saying, when I came to Villanova for my first tour, I remember telling my mom, like, this is where I'm going. Like, I can't go anywhere else. Just because, again, like the sense of community that you feel when you come here, and now being here, especially I come from my high school was really small, so I came here, and like having the smaller nursing class has been a great opportunity for me because basically all my best friends are in the nursing school. And you're able to really get to know everybody, which I really like because of the small classroom settings. And also just the fact that we start clinical sophomore year and we really get into the nursing classes starting freshman year. You kind of get right into it, which I really liked. And yeah, it's been an amazing experience, so you guys should come here.
I feel like going off everybody else. As soon as I came to Villanova, I toured Villanova in January. I think it was like a really bad snowstorm, so it was like sleety, and I feel like the weather can kind of make or break a tour sometimes for a college, but I absolutely loved it. The sense of community I found here was unlike any other school. Something that I really noticed that went a long way was just people saying hello to each other and holding the door for each other. That was something that like I was like blown away by, just because you don't see that everywhere. And I think it just shows that the sense of community we have here is very strong and impactful.
Next question. Yes.
Y'all talk about the sense of community. Could you talk about like tutoring or assistance, for students?
So we actually offer tutoring in our library. Right off the bat, freshman year, you can get tutoring in your nursing classes. You can get tutoring for anatomy and physiology. That helped me a lot when I was in anatomy, because I had a really hard time with it. You can do it in a group, you can do it one-on-one, but it just helps because it's also like a fellow nursing student who had already taken the course, so they kind of understand what it's like, and it helps like hearing it from another person. And then we also, for like our nursing specific classes, we have our simulation labs. I work down there as a peer mentor, so I help freshman and sophomore students with vital signs, practicing for their assessments, their head-to-toe assessments. Yeah, I think if anyone wants to add to that, I don't know.
Yeah, and I know like all professors here are required to have office hours, so that as well, like that's helped me. Like even if I don't have a specific question, just going to see them getting things like clarified has definitely helped.
For each of the students, what did you do during your college year, or excuse me, your high school years that you think helped you get admitted into Villanova Nursing?
I could start if you want. So I was really involved in Science Olympiad, and like so I was like the treasurer for that club, which kind of helped with like anatomy stuff and like chemistry stuff later on in Villanova. But I also had a lot of like leadership experiences in high school, which I think translated well to the school.
Yeah, I think kind of going off of that, I was involved in a lot of like clubs and organizations at my high school, and I feel like that really translated to here because everyone is involved in something in Villanova. Like there's so many clubs and organizations that you can be a part of, so I feel like that was something that I really thought helped.
Also, like everyone said, I think leadership is really important. My high school had a service requirement, so we had to do community service a certain amount of hours per year. So I did a lot of community service opportunities in high school and different trips. Like I traveled to Guatemala and Panama through my high school, and we did service work there. So I think leadership and service is very important to Villanova. And obviously, if you do, I did like anatomy in high school, AP Chem, stuff like that. So I think all of those things are really helpful.
And is anyone else? I just wanted to chime in really quick as the Office of Undergraduate Admission. I just really want to emphasize that there isn't one magic thing that is the solution to result in an offer of admission to the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing. The strongest emphasis is going to be placed on academics, and we're also seeking students, as all of our panelists have touched upon, that align with our institutional values. So there's not one magic formula or anything like that, and with a more selective process, there's not one way for us to look at a candidate and go, absolutely, this is going to sail through. It's a competitive process, and we know that that complicates things, creates some questions, but also just want to provide some reassurance that if Villanova resonates with you as a potential fit for where you want to pursue your profession of nursing, toss your hat in the ring, and again, it's the academics mixed with that alignment with institutional values.
Thank you. How about we go over here first? Yes.
When can nursing students have their car on campus?
Sophomore year, but the second semester. Yeah. Once you start clinical, you will be approved to have your car on campus.
Hi, good morning. I have two questions. One is there intended growth for this class? I understand you're saying there were 200 more seats maybe for next year. Admittance rate in nursing for those 116 seats that you have this year, like is there an acceptance rate? And then second, is there room for athletics? Are any of the nursing students the Division I athletes, or do you have the time in your day for activities? Thanks.
Yes.
So just to chime in there, so there is some of those 200 seats for the entire first year class. there's about 20 of those that are going to be for the first year class for the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing. In terms of admit rate, don't want to overwhelm with numbers or anything like that. It is a more selective program. We're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes there. We generally see about 2,000 applications for the nursing college coming down for the target class size there. And things can vary from year to year, and that's one thing. One cycle can be so different from the previous, but on average, that's kind of what we're looking at in terms of numbers.
Okay, I have a couple of friends that are involved in athletics in Villanova. One of them's field hockey, and then there's cheer too. So they do have time, and they also provide like tutoring resources for them, which is really nice, and they're doing just fine. So
I just wanted to add to that question about time for athletics. Villanova is one of the few schools that I can honestly say supports our student athletes in nursing. Just as this student just said, there's a lot of support for them. And I will add that 2-3 years ago, the captain of the Villanova football team, yes, football, was a nursing student for 2 years, junior and senior year. So we really do help with that.
And just to add one more thing to that athletic question is we work very closely with the athletic department and the student to determine when the best time is for their courses and for clinicals. So we do have a form that they can fill out and really work with them. Go ahead.
As a parent sending off my first child to college, what is the safety profile here? How safe do you feel as students? Do you have any, stories to share there?
I feel extremely safe on campus, especially like freshman year I had a night lab for chem, so I would be done around 9 o'clock, and you always have someone to walk home with, and even around campus there's these like safety buttons, like if you want to like press and like you want to have a police officer or a public safety member walk you back to your dorm, they will do that. I never had to do that personally because I felt so safe on campus, but knowing that's an option, I feel very safe.
And also, all of the dorms and apartments, you have to like scan your card in to gain access to get in, which I think also just makes it feel a lot more safe.
Yes. In the middle here.
Did any of you have any activities that you got involved in or experiences before college that made you really pick this career, and any values with that that you think really align with what Villanova stands for?
I mean, not nursing specifically. I always wanted to go into like something in healthcare, and after like talking to nurses in high school, it seemed like nursing was kind of my fit there, just because they're with the patients more often. It seemed like more patient advocacy there. But in high school, like I said, I was in Science Olympiad, which kind of like helped my science brain a little bit and kind of drove me towards STEM.
Similar thing, I don't have any personal experiences with nursing related activities, but my mom was a nurse, my sister's a nurse, I have a bunch of family members that are. So like growing up in that environment, hearing about patient care, I knew that I wanted to go into that field. So I was basically inspired by my family to choose this path.
Right there?
Hi, I'm not super familiar with the clinical rotations, but I know you guys mentioned you're in like specific floors or like specialties. Is that something that you were able to choose, or do you start clinicals kind of being exposed to everything and then kind of picking what's best for you?
So your clinical align with like the lecture class that you have. So sophomore year, it's like kind of like older adults, nursing fundamentals. So a lot of them are like nursing homes or like some, like I was in the hospital, but like a regular medical surgical floor most often. And then like your junior year, it's more like med surge. The curriculum changed for like the seniors if we talk about it. So we're like a different curriculum than the juniors, but it kind of just aligns with whatever class you're in at the moment.
Yeah, so they have a process where you will get a choice of like 8 different locations for like a specific area, like med surge I'm in right now. So we got a list over the summer of 8 different locations, and we were able to rank our preferences. You're not guaranteed to get your number 1, but I've normally got between 1 and 4, which is great. And you get to pick rank like day and stuff like that, which I think is really nice.
So just to kind of capitalize on what they said, this is a generic program. So all nursing programs in the United States at the bachelor's level have to include all of the different areas for clinical. So every student will go through a pediatric, obstetrics, psych, all the different types of nursing in order to kind of get a feel for everything, because the national exam has every single solitary type of nursing on that exam. So once you're finished with your bachelor's degree, you can go on further and get more detailed and more specific if you'd like. Yes, go ahead.
In terms of how you teach in the classroom versus preparing for the exams, some schools might teach to the exam, which could maybe lose opportunity for fundamentals or really deep dive in certain areas. What's your philosophy on both areas?
I feel like not only do you learn so much content in lecture, but the hands-on experience that you get at clinical really does kind of put all the puzzle pieces together in that sense. Villanova really does teach you so much information to give you like that kind of holistic approach to your nursing career, which I find really appreciative. So yeah, so basically you have lecture 2 days a week, and then you go to clinical 1 day a week. And then basically like those kind of correspond to one another, and that's how you learn.
Just to add on to what she said, if you're a visual learner, I think the hands-on experience in the clinical setting is really important, because I'm more of a visual learner, so like what I learn in lecture, I retain, but I don't really like learn it until I'm actually doing it. So I think the clinical starting early is really important, because you're gonna be learning about all these things in lecture and you retain them, but for me, I think I really learn in the clinical setting, and practice makes perfect. Once you keep doing it, you're really gonna know it.
Yeah, even in the lecture, obviously you're taking a test at the end of like all of this. It's the NCLEX, and there has to be a certain level of preparation for that test. But the teachers often bring in like their own stories and like case studies that are worked into class that makes it seem, and like you're not just teaching to the class, to the test.
I have 2 questions. One is we've attended other open houses for nursing, and some of them said like you get accepted your freshman year, but then it's a competition to get actually into the nursing program and get one of those seats. What is Villanova's position on that? I mean, is it your seat from freshman to senior, or are you competing again?
So quick answer here, it is a 4-year direct admit program. So once you are in, you are in. You start your nursing classes your first year. You get your nursing scrubs your first year. They look great.
You all look great.
You apply directly to the college.
And it's not a weed out program.
Okay. And then the second question is how far do they travel for their clinical? So you said you get up to 8 choices. Are you traveling up to an hour away and then back to campus? Or can you kind of describe that, what that experience is like for you?
Yeah, we have really great relations with Penn Medicine, Mainline Health, Jefferson. I would say probably the farthest I've traveled for a clinical is probably about 40-ish minutes. Since a lot of them are in Philly, you typically hit the traffic on the way home, which is the worst part. But yeah, you could either go as close as Bryn Mawr Hospital, which is 5 minutes down the road, or you could go to Penn Medicine or Jefferson in Philadelphia, which is probably about 30-minute drive in the morning, 45 in the afternoon once you leave.
And just to add on to that, with your clinical group, you can do like a carpool situation, so all of you can get to clinical And I feel like the nursing school does a really great job in like picking groups and seeing who has a car, who doesn't, and pairing everyone together.
Yes, we work really hard for the transportation piece. So we usually always have a partner who has a car. We ask students who, if they want to travel with somebody. We also have a very generous donor that has given us some compensation for students' travel to clinical. So right now, through that donor funding, we're able to reimburse students for some of the travel. Yes.
Are there opportunities for nursing students to take language minors that would be applied in hospital settings like Spanish?
My friend's a nursing major, but she's a Spanish minor. And she came in with like AP Spanish credit and like that stuff, which made it easier to get a minor. I would say like if you don't come in with any credits, it's like a tighter schedule to try to fit a minor in, but it can be done. But yeah, people take languages in the nursing school.
Is the operating room offered as a clinical rotation?
The operating room is not a specific rotation at this time. So you will have opportunities to participate in a rotation in the operating room for a day or two, but not a full rotation.
Yeah, I can kind of touch base with that a little bit. Chloe and I were in the same clinical group, and for a day we were able to go into a cardiac OR, and I feel like it was just a good experience to see for the day. I'm trying to think, like, we were able to see like an aortic graft replacement. It was really cool, but there's only so much you can do in the OR, so I really do feel like getting that like med-surg experience is what like you're kind of going for.
Hi, I'm Cecilia. I was wondering about the study abroad program in Ireland, if you received the opportunity to have any clinical experience down there, or just the study abroad programs in general.
I can speak on that. So I went abroad fall. It was the first year that we did it. I was one of two to go. So it's a little bit changed now with like your classes and stuff. There's no clinical there. As of what I know, I didn't do clinical there. I don't think they do clinical there now. Yeah, so you go and you're able to take your nursing classes there, and you're able to get other classes out of the way. Like I took my statistics course and my nutrition course while I was there. So you're able to get in your credits, like they all fit. I was worried about that, but everything fits. But yeah, amazing opportunity. Obviously loved it so much I could talk about it for hours. But I think it's a really cool opportunity to go just because like what Dr. Lavecchio was saying, a lot of schools don't have opportunities to go for a full semester. So I was really grateful that I got to go for a full semester. But we also have other programs. If Angela wants to talk, she did like a Maymester program as well.
Yes, I did do a Maymester in Ireland, and a Maymester is basically a 2-week program after your junior year, where you go to either Japan or Ireland. I know they flip-flop each year, and it's so cool. I was like, I knew I wouldn't be able to dedicate a whole semester. I know I'd miss home too much, so I was like, 2 weeks is the perfect opportunity. You get to do a whole program. I went to the University of Galway and got to hear like so many lectures from Irish professors. I got to see an Irish hospital and see how it differentiates from here in the US. So that was really cool. We also have a 1-week opportunity in the DR. That's your fall break, I think your junior year, I'm pretty sure, which I know a lot of our friends went to and they absolutely loved it.
Hi. Given the rigorous course load that you guys take, what do you do in your downtime? Like, what do you do for a mental release?
I love to crochet so much, and like that's just kind of like my little mind break, because you can get easily stressed out with all of the stuff you have to get done with nursing, but allowing that time to rest, take a break, see your friends, have those social interactions, like get you through, is so important. And most of your friends, or not most, but my friends are mainly nurses, so we get to hang out and not talk about nursing for a bit is super nice. But yeah, I love to crochet. That's my.
I think something that's really important is finding a group of people in your major and that understand what you're going through, because I feel like a lot of other people, other majors don't have as much of a course load as you do. So finding a group of nurses that you can kind of talk about de-stress, that helped me a lot.
I think also just like being active, going to the gym. I think taking walks, especially like when I'm studying for a while, like I need to just like get up and walk and get away from it for a little bit. I think that really helps me.
Yeah, once you establish a good work-life, social life balance, I feel like it makes all the difference. Because once again, like this is a very rigorous major and career that you're going into, so you have to take time for yourself and de-stress.
So I know there was many other questions. I think we're running out of time. So as I mentioned earlier, we will be over in the College of Nursing. We can answer any question that you have. There's several faculty. The students will be over there. We'll be giving tours of the sim lab. So thank you for coming, and I'm going to turn it back over to admissions. So thank you.